Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into the absolute core of communication. We're talking about the one skill that can unlock basically any conversation and build a real connection. And it all starts with one single, powerful tool.
So let me just ask you this right off the bat. What do you think is the single most powerful tool you can have in a conversation? In any language, really. Just take a second to think about it.
If you're thinking about questions, well, you've hit the nail on the head. It's absolutely the ability to ask good, clear, and genuinely interesting questions. That's how we learn, right? It's how we connect with people, and it's how we show that we're actually listening.
So today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to build your question toolkit. And forget dusty old grammar books. We're going to treat these rules as the powerful tools they really are. These are tools for building better, smoother conversations in English. So let's get started.
Okay, first up in our toolkit are the absolute basics. I'm talking about yes/no questions. These are probably the most common questions you're going to use every single day.
Now, there's a kind of golden rule, a secret formula for making the perfect yes/no question. It almost always starts with a special helper verb, what we call an auxiliary. Then comes the subject, and then the main verb. Once you crack this code, everything else just clicks into place.
For example, let's take the verb be. In a statement, you'd say, you are hungry. To make it a question, all you do is flip the first two words. That's it. It just becomes, are you hungry? See? Super simple. But what about a verb like likes? You can't just say, likes she coffee? It sounds weird, right? It needs one of those helper verbs. For the present tense, our helper is do or does. So she likes coffee becomes, does she like coffee? And notice what happened there. That little S from likes hopped right over to does, and this pattern just keeps going with other tenses. Like the present perfect, which uses have or has, we do the exact same flip we did with be. He has finished flips easily to has he finished. You're starting to see the pattern now, right?
This simple flip also works perfectly for what we call modal verbs. Words like can, will, or should. A statement like, you can swim, becomes the question, can you swim? Once you see this pattern, you really can't unsee it. It's everywhere.
Okay, so you've nailed the yes or no question. Awesome. But what if you want more than just a yes or a no? Well, now it's time to add a power-up to your toolkit. These are the questions that get you the real details, the interesting stuff. And here they are, your information-gathering power-ups, the W words. You've got what for things, where for places, when for time, who for people, why for a reason, and how for the way something is done. These are the words that turn a basic question into a real conversation. Now here's the best part. You don't need to learn some whole new, complicated structure. Nope. You just take that yes/no question formula we already mastered, and you stick the WH word right on the front. That's it. It's an upgrade, not a total rebuild. So for instance, look at this. Where is she going? The structure is perfect. You have the WH word, where, then the helper verb is, the subject she, and the main verb going. It's our original formula, just with where leading the way.
And it works no matter the tense. When did they arrive? Again, same solid logic. WH word, when, our past tense helper, did, the subject, they, and the main verb, arrive. It's incredibly reliable.
Okay, there is one really important exception you need to know. It's a special case. When your question word, like who or what, is also the subject of the sentence, you actually drop the helper verb. So you ask, who called you, not who did call you. You're asking who did the action, so that helper did just isn't needed.
So, asking great questions is half the battle, but the other half is giving great answers. So what's the secret to giving a short answer that sounds totally natural and fluent, not like a robot?
The trick is to listen for that helper verb in the question and just use it again in your answer. It's like a little echo. If someone asks, do you like pizza? The most natural response isn't just yes, it's yes, I do. You're tossing that helper verb right back. It's a small thing that makes a huge difference. And this little trick works for all those helper verbs we've been talking about. If the question is, can you help? The perfect answer is, yes, I can, or no, I can't. It's like a conversational rally.
They serve you the verb, and you just hit it right back. Now, as you're practicing these new skills, you might run into a couple common roadblocks. But don't even worry about it. Let's just call them pitfalls, because they are really easy to spot and even easier to fix once you know what you're looking for.
Okay, the number one most common pitfall is just making your voice go up at the end of a statement. Saying, "You are hungry," might get the point across. But in English, you really have to do that flip. The right way is always, "Are you hungry?"
And pitfall number 2 is mixing up the word order in a WH question. Remember our formula. That helper verb has to come before the subject. So it's not where you are going, it's where are you going. Just remember that order. WH word, helper, subject. Every time. All right, we've built the tools, we know the pitfalls to look out for. Now let's see how all this stuff actually works out in the wild. This is where it all really comes together. Imagine this classic scene. The waiter kicks things off with a simple yes/no question. Are you ready to order? The customer gives that perfect, natural, short answer we just talked about. Yes, we are. So what's next? The waiter needs more info, so they follow up with a WH question. What would you like? You see that? It's a natural little dance, flowing from one question type to the next, using the exact rules we've just covered. So, there you have it. You have the toolkit. You've got the formulas. You know the mistakes to avoid. And you've seen it all in action. The only thing left to do now is to actually use it. So, my final question for you is, what question will you ask today?
Auli International.